Hi everyone, here we are in week 3, and I assume by now you've got the routine down pretty well. So I'm making this video towards the end of week 2, and just a handful of people have taken the lab practical number 1. And so far those grades are really good. So as everybody else's grades come in, I'm hoping that the same thing happens. If it turns out you had trouble with the lab practical, remember that all the material on the lab practical, or all the questions, come right from those lab handouts. If you're using the syllabus, which you really should be, use your lab syllabus, and it has a listing of all the labs. So lab practical 1 was on labs 1, 2, 3. In week 3, we're going to have lab practical 2, which is on labs 4, 5, 6. So if you look at what's going on this week in week 3, part 1, I have lab 5, and there's the handout, and then I go down here and there's a lab 6 handout. So there's 2 lab handouts to use for the first part of week 3, and I'm just trying to get you to move along and get all this stuff done. We're going to be doing simple stains, smear simple stains and wet mounts for the first part, and you can see that there's a lab assignment from the book, just like a couple of the other ones we've used, and a bunch of virtual labs. So all of those are on your syllabus, and they're in your grade sheet. You can see when you get your grades in there. There's a lab quiz to go along with that. And then you also want to do by Wednesday of week 3, lab 6 on differential stains. There's a bunch of virtual labs and a lab quiz. And that will get you ready for when I go to week 3, part 2, that'll get you ready for the lab practical 2. Okay, and lab practical 2 should look a lot very similar to the format of lab practical 1. So again, make sure you're looking at those labs 4, 5, and 6, and you're using those handouts to review. If you haven't filled in those handouts, it's going to be really hard to review. Remember that we're using the Respondus lockdown browser, and you can't be using any other materials to be taking that lab practical. So far so good. Remember, if you're handing in something late, you can get 50% of the points by the due date of the next assignment. And here we are, week 3. We've got week 4 and 5, and things are going to wind down really fast. So keep up the good work. Please contact me if you have any questions. Take care.